In this lesson, we'll view admin settings and set a default hub. After completing this lesson, you'll be able to modify member roles, identify project types, set a default team hub, and deactivate a team member. Let's navigate back to Teams and back into our project. From here, we want to take a look at some additional functionality inside of Teams and ways in which we can manage our projects. In order to do this, we're going to have to access the admin settings. For now, inside of our project, I first want to take a look at our project details. For our project details, there's a pen icon at the very top for this folder called Foundational Concepts. We can edit the name of this project, and we can also manage the members. Once we go into Manage Members and we expand the project details, notice that we're now taking a look at the project itself. We have a settings icon in which we can select settings and change the type of project. There are three different types of projects for Fusion 360. Closed, which allows only invited members to access the project. Secret, which only invited members can see the project. And Open, which means any team member can ask to join this project. Again, it's important to note that project contributors' access will be restricted, and we'll take a look at that in just a second. When you're beginning to set up your hubs, as well as all the projects inside of them, it's important to note that again we can invite people to specific projects or to an entire team hub as a team member. When somebody is invited to an entire team hub, the type of project will dictate what they can and cannot see. We're going to save this even though I haven't made any changes, and then we're going to go into the admin section. To do this, you'll need to select your initials or your profile picture in the upper right-hand corner, and you'll select Admin. Before I go too far, notice that any hubs you have access to will be displayed here as well. And this is where you can change which hub you're working in by default. For us, I'm not going to make any changes. I'm simply going to go into my Admin section. Once inside Admin, there are several areas inside of here. The team name, file sharing, as well as access. Inside of access, notice that admin approval required is the current setting. There are a few other settings that you can take a look at, and depending on how you want to set up your projects, it's important to understand what each of these means. Right now, admin approval is required, which means that somebody that is a team admin can approve access to projects. Admin can only invite, or no approval required. There are other options, such as whether or not all the users have the same domain name. This is true for specific domains, however, things such as gmail.com or yahoo.com will not fall into this category. So you must have a very specific email domain if you want this option to work. Next, notice that we have file sharing options. Allow file sharing for all is set to yes. However, we can modify that and turn it off so if we want to stop sharing with everyone in the team. Next, let's go to Members and Roles. Inside of Members and Roles, you can see all people that are active, and all people that are inactive. Right now, people that are active can be set as a team administrator, or they can be set as a team member. Again, remember that administrators have the available option to not only invite people to projects, but also grant access. We also have invitations. So if you're sending an invitation and somebody has not accepted it, you can view any pending and sent invitations in this area. Also note that there's a drop-down box next to people's names where you can deactivate them. Lastly, we have a Projects section. The Projects section will allow us to view all the projects that are inside of our current hub. If we take a look at any specific projects, we can see how many members are currently in them and whether or not it's an active project or if it's archived. Let's go ahead and take a look at our Intro to ME and MFG. Inside of Intro to ME and MFG, you can see that we have closed and it's an active project. If we expand it, there are two project members. We can archive the project, transfer it to another hub, or we can manage the roles. When we go to Manage Roles, you can see that currently I'm set as a project admin, and the invite is set to an editor. We can make an adjustment so that this person is a viewer only and doesn't have direct access to the files, or that they're a project admin. Also note that there's a team members section. If we have team members, we can make them a project admin. This allows us to allow the team members to view and access these projects, as well as making them an admin, which gives them the right to invite and grant access to other people. So as you're building out your hubs and all of your projects, make sure that you understand the access points for anybody that's invited. And if you have team members, note that they'll be able to see all the data inside of the hub, but there are certain limitations for certain types of projects. If projects are secret, they'll only be able to see them if they're invited. If projects are closed, they'll be able to see that data and request access, and if projects are open, they'll be able to see them. From here, we're going to navigate back to our team settings, and note that, again, if you select your profile, you can go back into Settings or My Account and take a look at all of the other various hubs that you have access to, set as default, or leave the teams. This is a great option if there are several hubs that you've been invited to that you no longer need access to. You can leave the team and have it removed from your drop-down box showing you the different teams. From here, let's go ahead and move back into Fusion 360 for our next lesson.